एक्सपर्ट वॉइसेस जहां हम आपको सुना रहे हैं मैराथन ट्रेंड्स के अतुल सूरी का बाजार कंज्यूमर डिस्क्रिशनरी और सरकारी बैंक शेयरों पर क्या कहना है, आइए आपको सुनाते हैं।
Whether it's 2008 or 2000 crashes, post that the markets tend to spring up. We had a spring action in 2003, we had a spring action in 2009, and again we've had a similar spring action in 2020. This is when the big falls have happened and the markets have pulled back. So that's like the first phase of the bull market. But post that, you'll find that markets need to consolidate. Markets need to absorb the kind of move. We cannot replicate the move we've had last year for years to come. So what I feel is that we will get into this phase of consolidation. It could last a few months where we could be in a range, where we hit a range of 18 and a half, 19,000 on the upside, 16 and a half on the downside. In this, you'll see sectorial change you guys have been talking about. So I personally think that we are going to see this kind of play that will elongate for some period of time. Sectorial rotation would happen. And there are dark clouds at the moment, whether it is bond yields or whether it's crude prices and things like that. So these narratives will keep happening. They will keep you occupied. They will, as I say, that this is going to be a year of kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. So what we are really going to have is that when we get really euphoric and feel that the breakout's going to happen, it's going to blue skies and it's going to disappoint. And when we're going to say like, oh, nothing is happening, it's all, this problem, that problem, the markets will surprise you on the upside. So I think that this is going to be a period of consolidation. Has happened in the past. It is classic. It's statistically proven. And that's fine, I guess, for people who are paying the longer term trend. It may be a great period for a certain amount of rotation within the portfolio and the time to really identify the new leadership that emerges and to realign the portfolio in that space. I don't think that consumer discretionary has any sort of play. Has a very similar case. I don't think so. I think they're backed by earnings. They are cycles. They are companies that have been around. Yes, you have economic cycles. You have commodity plays that go in. So you have a few big, good quarters, bad quarters. I mean, look at steel, classic. I mean, again, a sector which was considered as a dog, but such spectacular numbers and such, excellent performance you are seeing. So I really don't think that, consumer discretionary, some of the commodity plays, etc. I mean, look at PSU banks, again, a decadal underperformance. For 10 years, since 2008, you have just lost money. You just lost money in PSU banks. But you realize that, as and when the earnings have come, you realize the kind of price movements that happen, the investors are making money. So the whole principle of earnings driving prices is, written in stone for me. And that you will see in sector after sector. And it's only when markets go sideways, which was actually the first question that Nikunj raised, that when markets go sideways, the market goes through this realization. This is the cleanup process. And this is when the portfolio churns happen. See, in a bull market, everything does well. In fact, the saying is that gada ghode se tez bhag jata hai. That means very often the donkey surpasses the horse in a bull market because it's all about storytelling. When the markets go into consolidation, the storytelling ends. And that's when people start looking at earnings. And that's when you start seeing this kind of re-rating that happens. So I think this is a very interesting space for us as investors. This is a space for us to actually relook at our portfolio.
ओके तो क्लियरली अतुल सूरी से अब बातचीत खास यहाँ पर हम करते हुए कौन से शेयरों पर मार्केट्स पर उनका आउटलुक क्या है और कहाँ पर फोकस नज़र आता हुआ। लेकिन चलिए अब चंद